Okay, so it's day one of the Autumn Readathon that's hosted by Mercedes from MercysBookishMusings. I'll post the original video and my TBR down below if you're at all interested. I actually got one of the prompts slightly wrong in that video. So there was a bonus prompt that I read as being to read a fiction book with a female protagonist, but it's actually to read an adult novel with a young female protagonist. So I'm going to browse my shelves again and find something that fits it a little bit better. In the meantime, I'm going to start out with reading Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders, which is my historical fiction choice. I'm going to try to read about 100 pages and then I'll move on and pick something else, so we'll see how I get on. Okay, so I'm taking a bit of a break from reading this morning. I'm going to head to the shop and get some lunch, eat something, maybe watch something, and then get back into it this afternoon. So I'll check in a little bit. So I've had a bit of lunch, a little bit of a break. I managed to read quite a bit of Lincoln in the Bardo this morning. I think when I first started it, I was very unsure of the technique used to tell the story. Essentially, each sentence is a different narrator, and I think at first that can be quite tricky to get a hold of, but once you get going, it actually flows really well. There was a particular chapter that I loved where they're talking about the moon, and in one quote, they're talking about how brilliant the moon is, and in the next quote they're talking about the non-existent moon, but it flows really, really well and it's almost poetic. So I'm actually really enjoying this and I'm quite excited to keep going with it. I'm going to take a bit of a break and come back to it later on, and I think I'm going to pick up the Loney next, which is my choice for the Gothic spooky book. So I'm going to start that now and see how I get on with it. I feel like I'm just going to munch and munch and munch. I'm eating luxury nut mix. These bad boys, I love these. These are so good. You can get them in most supermarkets. Also, these truffle things are just gorgeous. And then this I think is new. So this is all dairy-free stuff. But I'm obsessed with these. Like, I love the free chocolate, but I've never had this one before, so I do think it's new, which is honeycomb, and it's so good, it's so good. And then I also picked this here salted caramel chocolate bar up, which I've never actually had before, so I might give that a go as well. Yeah, so it's all going really well. Just about to head out, going to go to the park for a little bit, go for a bit of a walk. So I'm probably going to listen to my audiobook of Stephen King's It for a little while. May also bring some of the books with me, maybe find a place to perch outside and read for a while if it's not too cold. And then I'll come back, make a bit of dinner, and then read a little bit more in the evening when it's quite cosy. So I'm just finishing up day one of the autumn readathon. I've really enjoyed it actually. It's been really fun. I read quite a bit of Lincoln and the Bardo this morning. Didn't manage to get round to reading any of it this evening, but I'll probably start with that again tomorrow morning. Read about 50 pages of the Loney. Really love it so far. It's really atmospheric and I'm quite intrigued to see where it's going to go. Read a bit of Into the Wild. Not sure how I feel about this one yet. I did mention in my TBR video that I'd seen the film. The book feels similar but slightly different. I feel like in the film I really liked the character, whereas in the book I kind of question whether he's really brave or really stupid. But it definitely makes you think about what the consequences are of giving up a kind of normal life in society. It's definitely thought-provoking anyway, and I'm definitely underlining quite a few sentences in this, so yeah, I'm liking it. Not overly loving it, but we'll see how I get on with it. I also read a bit of the Howling Miller, which I'm pretty pleased about because I mentioned in my TBR video that I loved The Year of the Hare, which is by the same author, and it's definitely got a similar feel in that he just really writes really quirky, interesting characters really well, and you can't help but want to kind of get to know them and read about them, so definitely think that I'm going to love this one too. So yeah, that's kind of what I've read today. I also listened a little bit to my audiobook of Stephen King's It, which I'm really enjoying as well. I'm a bit hit and miss with audiobooks. I find them quite difficult in terms of I'm not really very good at concentrating on them, but I think that Stephen King's It is a perfect one because it's quite creepy. But yeah, I've really enjoyed today and I'm looking forward to reading more the rest of the week. I'll probably do a little bit of a wrap-up video at the end of the week and then just concentrate on reading over the next few days. Might well do the bonus prompts tomorrow, just have to wait and see. Anyway, if you've been taking part in this, I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and thanks for watching. Bye.